5 years.
6.
5.
6.
Well, I started like most magicians as a kid, was interested in magic, watched magic on TV, then got books, no DVDs or videos at that time. So I learned from books, and I've always liked books, and I guess I started out with a classical foundation for all the basic sleights, and I'm a general practitioner in magic as well. As my career developed, I did professional close-up magic, I did stand-up magic, stage. Finally, I went to illusions and designed my own illusions as well as mega illusions.
For me, I guess I would say that magic found me because I've always been a little girl who had, lots of very strange, quirky hobbies, and my parents were really supportive about me learning magic. So I'll go to libraries and actually learn from books on the simple magic tricks that involve cups and balls and rubber bands. And when I grew older, I actually did stuff for charities. And after graduating from university, I joined JC Sum.
Well, I of course had my own show first. I was doing a stage show as well as illusions. Then I got to know Ning when I was filming one of my street magic shows, and I thought it would be a good fit if a female magician could be born and created right here in this part of the world, because
Voila, c'est moi.
we didn't have any professional female magicians at the time. So we started off working on a close-up magic, isn't that right? We got her a few gigs. In fact, the first gig was at...
it was at Zouk, wasn't it? Philip Morris, because they can't do ads here in Singapore, so they had to do underground branding exercises. And so I did customized magic with cards, coins, money, and it was really cool because lots of people actually liked the whole idea of a female magician. It was a great novelty, so we had a lot of clients actually calling him, looking for moi.
That's right. So we then had a spot in my show for her where she was just a featured act. So she wasn't a star at that time yet. She was a featured act, and she did her what is now known as Magic Babe Straight Jacket Striptease. Here's the inside scoop. When Magic Babe first came onto the scene, we didn't have you all sexy and stuff like that.
No, not at all. I mean, I think sexiness was something that I had to grow into. And I had to earn my stripes as well because, JC has been in the industry for, 15, 16 years. And he was a great mentor as well. So I really had to work very hard to look like a stage equal because I just reject the fact that women must only be an assistant or dancer. So, it was just hard work.
Yeah, so that was exactly it. Her first costume, she was all covered up from head to toe.
It was this Jean Grey thing I really wanted to do. In X-Men, my favorite character was Jean Grey before she became the Phoenix. So it was a trench coat thingy, and it was quite cool.
It was cool, and I think it was deliberate as well. We didn't want, people to think, female magician, and her only value was as a girl or female. So we wanted her to have credibility as a magician. So it's only after, I guess, a year or two that she was doing magic and had already done her own one-girl show that she broke out into the Magic Babe we all know now.
Voila. I think it's always an evolution if you're an artist. You can never just sit on your laurels. You have to always better yourself. So as JC and myself were just discussing earlier, Magic Babe wasn't always this Magic Babe. It was really this whole growth and discovery of myself, and honestly also embracing the feminine part of myself. So I think it's really a whole journey. It never ends. You have to get inspiration and really just keep working on your stage character.
For myself, I think I've evolved at least 3 times within my career in terms of my material and my style. And I think Ning was a big part in my latest evolution in terms of the presentation of the whole urban illusions. Now, with the style of our urban illusions, which is our current style, it also changed my whole approach to illusion design. Much more industrial design in terms of the materials of the illusions we do.
Yeah, no techie colors or, the typical shapes of your diamonds and your hearts and stuff. We wanted something really urban, something that today's audience wouldn't think is cheesy, and that's why we really say that, we don't do no offense to you if you do like your top hats and bunnies, but we just take a very different approach.
You know, we try to make sure that we don't perform anything that is too commonly performed or someone well-known is performing it. For example, I did the floating table, probably the first one or the first two here in Singapore, and that was about 2001, 2002. Now everyone does it, so we actually have scrapped it from our repertoire even though we have 3 tables.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's so easy to be a cookie cutter, take someone else's material and use it for yourself, change the colors or whatever and call it your own. But I think that's just not a way to grow, because you just be another copycat, and that's why we work so hard to come up with original items, like, I mean, not just the image, but also the routines, the illusions that you see, and make it our own.
That's right, and you know, we've been doing our visual illusions for the past 4 or 5 years now, which is why we have our brand new interactive illusion show. That's what we call it, at least. Now in the trade, you might be calling it a mentalism show, but I can guarantee you no mentalist would call it a mentalism show, because we have actually combined both illusion techniques and approaches as well as mentalism approaches to create what we consider a brand new show. And that's, you know, our next evolution as well to how we see our illusions being presented. So right now we have both our visual illusions as well as this Illusions of the Mind show.
I think essentially, if you're an artist, I mean, if you're a magician or whatever, you shouldn't let definitions define you. You shouldn't have like so-called rules of, oh, how a mentalist is and
or how a manipulator is.
Yeah, because if you're just concerned about commercial and not being a magician's magician, it's really about the evolution of times, and let yourself evolve as well to what today's audience really like and want to see.
I think one thing we should have said right from the start, our approach has always been for the commercial mainstream audience and media. We aren't magicians. We don't really do conventions. We aren't competition magicians, but we're out there for the general public, the mainstream public and the media.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely respect, you know, your FISM winners and everything, but we're just a different kind of breed.
That's right.
Well, okay, I think first the image that you're portraying is very important. Don't be a cookie cutter and you know, try to look different, dress different, obvious things, so you have to speak one, and obviously your magic has to be strong. But you just need to know how to make yourself unique, in the sense that you know, you will be remembered in a good way. And I think that's really important, because a lot of times people just, well, magicians tend to copy what is safe out there, so everyone dresses the same, uses the same music, and does the same acts, and to people, lay audiences, they'll be so unimpressed. They might think that, you know, this is so typical, or I've seen everything and I know all there is to magic. In fact, we have some audiences tell us that, oh, are there only like so few tricks in magic? But I think that's because they haven't really seen a lot, and I think as a performer, as a professional, you can afford to be, you know, more courageous in your choice of material as well as your image.
You know, Ning makes a good point. I call it the YouTube test. Just go on YouTube, look at different magicians. For example, if you're a dove magician, just look for dove magicians, and you'll be surprised how they all look alike. You know, of course, I'm making a generalized statement, but it's true. Out of 10 acts, I think 8 or 9 look the same. Same type of tail coat, same colors, same type of hair, same type of productions, and you know, magicians look all alike. So same with illusions as well. I find certain illusions, they are just way too common. I think I was probably guilty of performing some of these common illusions earlier in my career as well. But you know, since we made the conscious decision to be different, we take the effort, I think the time and the money to make sure it looks different. Now it has to feel different as well. That's very important. Look and feel different to the lay audience. Now you have to remember, as magicians, we can appreciate the differences in techniques. You know, we are all geeks, okay? So I know we love certain techniques, and I think there's something in our subconscious that tells us, hey, we want to do that too. That was so cool.
I'm a geek, yeah.
But you really have to fight that urge, you know, to be inspired and want to model or copy a certain act because it looks good and you feel it looks good. You have to resist that urge, and you have to try to do something that looks very different. And being different is not enough. You have to be different, but at the same time be appealing to the mass audience. There's no point being different and no one likes it. Okay?
Yeah, I think there's a difference between being different, just being for the sake of being different, but it has to work to your advantage, and essentially it's just knowing what are your strong points and just letting that blossom out of your character that is very special to you.
Yeah, you have to know your strengths and your weaknesses. I mean, the fact is some people are just so skilled at, technical skill, for example. Some people are great at talking acts, and you can't do everything, so you have to know your strengths and weaknesses. And once you know that, you'll be able to pick the material that fits you. So, I'd say do the YouTube test, okay? If you see 2, 3, 4 things that look too similar, too many people are doing it, and you have to make that conscious decision to change. And then the next thing is, see what sort of image you can do to look different and really stand out. And if you can stop doing the appearing cane, especially close up, so we don't hear the shk, I think everyone would appreciate that.
Okay, well, he thinks the appearing cane, the shk Fantasio cane is like the modern day rabbit out of a hat trick. I think it is very common, and I think we have had lay people who actually ask us, you don't do that trick thing, do you?
With the magic stick. Okay.
Yeah, because they know that it's a spring thing. So many people tell us, and I think it's also, one of those birds of a feather flock together theory where they, hey, my friend uses this, and then I'll use it too since everyone uses it. No, don't do that, because you should be different. I think that's what a lot of performers do. They just want to stick to the safe things, but I think maybe it's great if you're a hobbyist and you kind of want to use things that you know work, but as a performer, you want to make sure that you do things that work as well, but are unique to yourself, because you respect the art, you respect yourself as a performer.